All right, so first video on this channel. This should be very interesting because this guy gives input. Holy shit! This guy gives an input from a side that I did not think existed. I usually don't use Twitter, and to hear input like this is kind of shocking. Well, let's just play the video. Holy shit!
I was never like the biggest fan of Guilty Gear just because it's one of those typical fighting games where it still has all these like random complicated inputs for no fucking
Okay? What? Huh? What inputs? Okay, well, and I've already seen it partially, some of this video, so he's about to pull up the inputs right now, but holy shit, he's complaining about these inputs. Oh man, let's continue.
reason. And it's like you gotta do a million things just to do one move. And
you think so?
you know, it's just I'm kind of past that right now. So I like fighters because it's only like quarter circle inputs and
Oh man.
just what?
Fighters doesn't need to be put on the map right now. Like Fighters' inputs are very fucking simple. I mean, nothing absurd. Everything's quarter circle forward. You know, nothing really unique. There is down inputs, which he's gonna mention soon enough. But yeah.
Down inputs? That's it. That's all fighters has. But then you go to Guilty Gear, like, hold on, the fuck is all this shit, bro?
Ah, that stings. What do you mean? What the fuck is all this shit? I mean, from this list right here, there's nothing even that crazy. Yeah, you have the dragon motion input, and you have half circle forward. Half circle forward button, and that's pretty much it. Half circle forward is a relatively easy input, but let him get his piece off first.
You serious? You serious, bro?
Oh my god,
Bro, look at this. Look at this shit.
what? I don't find what's troubling about here. The dragon inputs are a staple in fighting games. They have been around since the beginning. Street Fighter for Dragon Punch inputs. This stuff is the norm. This stuff is the norm if you've played fighting games. And yes, for beginners, it takes a while. When I was growing up, playing this shit, trying to learn DPs, it took a while. But that's the whole point. But let's continue.
Bro, I understand the dragon input is like, oh my god, it's not that complicated. Like, okay, I get it, bro. Just because I'm talking about something doesn't mean I don't know how to do it, and same and vice versa. Just because I know how to do it does not mean it doesn't piss me off, you know?
Okay, just because you know how to do it and you're complaining about it doesn't make sense. If you're able to do it, then you should understand why it's in the game. It's an execution barrier. If it's easy to do, it's not nearly as rewarding. Someone mentioned it down in the comments. Golden comment, by the way. This is like complaining about learning how to swing a club when just starting to play golf. If you want to avoid a harsh learning curve, you can always play mini golf instead. Holy shit, man, that guy is golden. We have to look at what was that guy's name? Smackums. Oh man, got the cloud logo. What a god. But yes, if you don't like the inputs for this game, and it's already been dumbed down. I'm not even a veteran Guilty Gear player, and you know, I've heard some of my friends complain about like the ease of use for this game, and you know, that's how it be. Sometimes games get dumbed down. Street Fighter V got dumbed down, and I definitely know how they feel. Every combo is 2 frame input, 2 buffer frame input. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but the developers do have to cater to a larger audience, and I guess this guy too. But man, soon we're not gonna have anything. Soon veteran fighting players are not gonna have shit. But let's continue.
Or get on my nerves. Like, what is the point of what? Why? What is the point of this?
What do you mean? Why? It's an execution barrier. If it's easy to do, it's not rewarding.
Input thing, the tyrant rave. What is the point of that input? Tell me. I want to know. Why do I have to do a whole circle
I gave him his
and
answer.
then go forward just to do one move or like an ultimate or whatever? I'm fine with quarter circles, right? I'm fine with quarter circles. But
Okay, fine. You want to complain about half circle forward, but what about half circle? Why are you crying? Half circles are in fighters. Does he even use DHEs in fighters? Who knows? We'll never find out. But half circle forward is not. I prefer half circle forward because you can't even mash it out like that. That's actually better. You shouldn't even mash it super on wake up. if you're mashing super on wake up, I don't know how you mash half circle forward on wake up, but good. I'm glad this input's fucking difficult, as it should be.
Bro, dragon inputs, I never like dragon inputs.
Well, good. Get better. There's plenty of shit I don't like, but over time, I practice it, I learn it, I get better. That's the whole point. It's gradual growth. If you're not growing and learning with the game, then that's on you. There's other alternatives. Fantasy Strike is one of them. You can play Fantasy Strike.
Like Dragon Punch inputs, like you like do like forward half circle a button. I never like that shit. Never. People don't have time to do all these.
Have time. Ah, man, then you have the option not to play the game, which he says he's not fucking with guiltier because of half circle forward. Ah, man. I can understand complaining about, really complex stuff, such as character-specific combos. Like, I've never liked character-specific combos, but I respect them. If you land a character-specific combo on me, goddamn, you're a god. I haven't played any game recently that's character specific. I don't even know. Maybe Third Strike has something like that, but I've never played any of the older Guilty Gears like that. So man, he would. Oh, plus art. Oh man, he'd be done.
Complicated ass inputs. You look at shooters. What do you do in shooters, bro? You press 2 buttons and you shoot a nigga. Like that's all you got to do.
Yeah, and those are casual ass experiences. Go ahead, play COD. Play that boring ass piece of shit.
Exactly. Like, bro. I don't feel like, bruh, even looking at this, I love playing Soul. I like Soul, but I don't feel like doing all this bullshit just to play a character. And then the thing about it is, right, is that people will like, if you say something about this shit, bro, people will say, talk to you like you're crazy or like you're lazy or whatever, right?
I don't think it comes down to laziness. I think it's coming down to effort. Like, just practice, bro. Practice. It doesn't take too much time to practice this stuff. We're not talking about Daigo parries. We're not talking about, and even you can practice that in a couple weeks, learn that stuff. But half circle forward, that's what we're complaining about? You can already do a quarter circle forward. There are players who are disabled, brawly legs. This man does it with his mouth. There's no excuse.
Like, I'm a lazy motherfucker just because I don't want to do all this shit right here, bro. I don't feel like doing all this just to play the game. Like, that's so dumb.
And I don't even think it comes down to that. A lot of this time when you're beginning and starting the game, especially Guilty Gear too, like, maybe you won't be able to do supers, but a lot of this shit is just tossing out normals. Play a character like me. Shit, he might not even be able to do charge moves. Who knows? He might be the dude complaining about charge moves.
And then they wonder why fighting games aren't played by people.
That's the other concept too. Like, yes, fighting games are tough. They're supposed to be. That's the whole gist of it. Like, if they were easy and everybody got into them, they wouldn't be the niche that they were. But it's fun that they're like that. It's fun that they're difficult. Just like b-hopping in CSGO. Not everybody can do it, but once you learn it, it's fun as hell. I mean, you can't do it like seriously anymore, but complex ideas or complex mechanics make the game more rewarding. That is key. That is so key. Look at the parry system in Street Fighter V for Ryu. Third strike parry. I wouldn't say it's impossible to, like, getting parries is relatively easy once you learn it. But in Street Fighter V, man, those things are brain dead. I mean, there's a direct comparison. I can bring it up edited, but Jesus Christ, like, the more you invest in something that you like, the more reward you're going to get out of it. And if that skill ceiling is low, it's not going to feel nearly as rewarding.
This is Roshi's, like, moves. Right here. This is Roshi's moves. Do you see any of that zigzag shit on here? No, it's down, down, and quarter circle. Easy. I mean,
I wonder if this guy actually plays Roshi, because Roshi's actually a fairly technical character. Yes, Fighter Z does not have any complex. It has auto combos, like it's a fairly like straightforward when it comes to inputs. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool and all, but having a direct comparison, like Fighter Z is like the barrier to entry. Like relatively low skill when it comes to the inputs for like special moves and shit. Like nothing too crazy. Like he mentioned earlier, down inputs, quarter circle forward. And this game has half circles. Like if you're DHCing, this game has half circles. Raw DHC, it has half circles. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Mostly easy, but like it's easier to the figure out than this shit. Like, bro,
what? There's 2 extra inputs. Literally 2. That's all you have to learn. If you can do a quarter circle forward, or you can do a quarter circle back, you can do DP motion. DP motion, yes. Forward, they even have a macro for it. If you dash forward and you quarter circle forward with Mei, that's her command grab. She has DP motion for her command grab, I'm pretty sure. So if you dash forward with the macro and do quarter circle forward, you will get the DP motion. Oh man, speaking of fucking ease of use, they have a dash macro in the game. Like, all right. Never mind, let's continue.
It's just a random person, right? And it's like, hey, this is what you gotta do to play a character in a video game. Do you think that they
No, that's not true. That is not true. This is not what you have to be. Man, a lot of stuff comes down to normals. Like, yes, you're gonna spend some time. I mean, anybody that started out playing fighting games, when you want to learn a super, it takes time. Your first time, think of any time. If any of you guys are veteran fighting game players, think of the first time you tried to do a super in any sort of game. Quarter circle, double quarter circle forward, and like maybe Street Fighter 4. Maybe that was your first fighting game. Or Third Strike, like Makoto command grab into. Like when I was younger, when I was 10 years old trying to play Third Strike, I got fucked up because I could never do command grab into Makoto's heavy. It seems easy as fuck now, but back then I was like, this shit's impossible. But I learned and I played and I adapted and I got better. And the reward for it is so much fun. It's fun.
Want to play that video game? Do you think they would want to play this shit?
A lot of this shit doesn't even come down to the special moves. When someone's looking at a fighting game, I think it's the characters. But that's not even the main point. Let's continue.
Fuck no. When I first started playing Guilty Gear, I didn't want to play the game because I'm like, what the fuck is PKHS?
Oh man, now we're complaining about inputs. But oh man, this video will be too long if I go on about inputs. But yes, it's never been a simple translation when it comes to buttons. A lot of people use arcade sticks. These are arcade system games. So having designated buttons labeled as P and S, and it actually helps translate easier for people who play on stick and people who play on controller. I don't have to say press the triangle. I don't know what the fuck my triangle button is on my arcade stick. I don't know what the fuck that is. I just say, hey, press medium, press heavy, press JH, or, 2M or whatever, those are the standard. It makes it so it's easy to translate for other players. And once you learn the language, it's easy. And it doesn't take that long.
People that have been playing fighting games for a while have just, that's just like normal for them. But just
it may be normal, but you learn and you learn this stuff. You learn this stuff. It doesn't take forever to learn this. Just get it into your mind. Just learn it for a day. It doesn't take that long. This isn't something you have to spend years upon. Learning DP motion doesn't take years to learn. Practice it. Couple 20 minutes a day. Practice DP motion. Shit, 2 minutes a day. Oh, I land DP like 8 out of 10 times today. Oh, I landed 4 out of 10 times today. Oh, okay. All right, let's continue.
Because hold on, let me switch my screens for this shit. Because I gotta really tell y'all this. Because y'all FGC niggas be pissing me off. Just because it is normal for you does not mean it is normal for other people. I hope.
And that's fine. That's why there's different games for everybody. If you don't like doing these complex inputs, then fine. I guess you don't have to play it. But for those who want to learn and overcome obstacles such as these inputs, which, for a beginner, some of these inputs are hard. When I really think about it, some of these inputs may be hard. DP motion for me, learning that was really tough growing up. But I learned it.
You understand that and shut the fuck up and get what people are trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. I'm gonna just show y'all the difference between the movesets list in Guilty Gear and the moveset list in Dragon Ball. So look at this. Bro,
yeah, but we already know Fighter Z
so
is meant for casuals. There's 3 buttons.
But everyone knows what an Xbox controller looks like.
No, okay, whoa, let me stop there. It's not meant for casual. It invites a casual audience relatively easy. Let me make sure that's clear. It's not meant for casuals. That's dumb as hell. I play Fighter Z actively a lot, actually, so it's not just meant for casuals. It introduces a casual audience relatively easy, and I think Guilty Gear does that as well.
Everybody knows that shit. This is easy to follow. And even though there's a lot of inputs, most of these inputs, like you said,
You better not be a UI player, bro.
side,
You better not be a UI player.
Forward B, forward A, hold, right? Quarter circle, back quarter circle, quarter.
Okay, so he's bringing up inputs for Fighter Z, but what you'll find out about most fighting games is that they have DP motion. Tekken has like a billion strings. I don't know their exact motions for Tekken. I have only played so much of Tekken. But at least Street Fighter, DP motion's been there since who knows how long. Full circle, for people who've always wanted to play Zangief, they've learned that shit. That full circle motion, I suck at it. But I respect players who can do it. I know there's shortcuts for it and shit like that, but I've never been able to do it. But that doesn't mean like, oh, I can't do it, so that means that input's stupid. Like, no, that's the input.
Quarter circles, still quarter circles. No Z's, no U's or loop-de-loops or whatever. Just quarter circles. And like down inputs and like side inputs. People that play fighting games act like casuals are like poison or whatever, or like they'll.
No, it's not that. Okay, some of the FGC is pretty tough, but I think it comes down to a learning curve. These games that are being made today by these developers, Street Fighter V, Guilty Gear, Fighter Z, these games are already dumbed down to open up to a casual audience. You have a dash macro in Guilty Gear. You have a easy as fuck parry, and it's not a universal parry, obviously, it's a Ryu parry, but you have 2-frame buffer for every single move in Street Fighter V. These games are already being dumbed down, and now you want to remove inputs from the game because you can't do them, or you don't even want to spend the time to do them. Now, what if someone from an even casual audience told you, hey, I don't even like quarter circles, let's remove those. I don't even know what his input would be on that. Maybe he would want one button supers and shit like that. And I'm fine with it to a certain extent. If you look at the character Ed from Street Fighter V, he does have 2-button DPs, but that's a specific character. That's fine, But I still want difficulty in fighting games because it's rewarding, not because it singles out get the fuck out of here, you stupid cat. No, I don't want that. But I want if I learn something, I spend time on it, I want to be rewarded for that. I think a lot of people want that. At least the FGC wants that. I would say most of it. I don't think everybody wants to do one-button combos and shit like that, And I don't think, me personally, I know this isn't about auto combos, but I don't even think auto combos are that bad. I know a lot of people complain about auto combos, but I think auto combos are alright.
I don't know. Like, they're stupid, or they shouldn't be playing fighting games for some reason. That shit is weird.
That's a dumb take too. I think everybody should be open to playing fighting games. I think that's key. If you want to play fighting games, play it from a casual sense. I don't even play MK like that seriously, but I still find it fun. The inputs in MK are relatively easy, You don't have to take a fighting game too seriously to have fun. Even if you can't do supers, you can literally play MK without doing supers. You can just press normals all day and have fun. That's literally all I do with my friends. I literally just press buttons. Press buttons like a dumbass. I'm pressing fucking 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm pressing them shits. Whatever the button is, crouching 1 or whatever the fuck. I'm just pressing buttons. That's all it is. You can have fun just pressing buttons. You don't have to do all these complex inputs.
Or if you have to explain something to someone who doesn't play the fighting games like that, then they're lazy.
No, and it doesn't come down to laziness either.
Or they don't want to learn. Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No. I think not wanting to learn is key, though. If you do not want to do these inputs, I mean, you might find them tough at the beginning, but complaining about them, I don't think it's the right motion. I think trying to learn them, see if you can get them. If you find them tough, keep trying, keep practicing. If you can't get it, you can't get it. Try a different character, try a different game, But to say that, FGC's calling you lazy for you shitting on the inputs, I think that's fucked up. Now, you willing not to learn, you not spending the time to learn these inputs, I think is another thing too.
A casual can become a hardcore player with what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. But people don't want that to happen.
No, that's not true either. We need more people in the FGC. We need more people. That's why these games are being opened up to a casual audience.
And they say they want it to happen, but then do the opposite shit to prevent, like they gatekeep and everything to prevent them from doing it. That doesn't make any sense. Like, they act like catering to casuals is a bad thing. And it's not. It just depends on how it's done. And it's like, and motherfuckers be like, well, you're just bad. You just don't feel like putting in the work. You're just not hungry. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It has nothing to do with wanting to put in work.
I think it is. I think that's key. I think it is. You are not willing to put in the effort to learn these inputs, whether they have a skill gap or not. Like I said, some of these inputs may be tough at first sight, but if you practice and you spend a little bit of time to learn them, I promise you they're not that hard. We're not talking about character-specific combos. We're not talking about fucking 100-hit combos we're not talking about Marvel vs. 3 combos. We're not talking about that. We're talking about simple inputs for supers and special moves. We're not talking about any crazy shit. We're talking about simply inputs.
I just don't think I should have to do all these complicated inputs and destroy my fucking pad for a fighting game. For a video game that's supposed to be enjoyable. That shit's stupid. That shit is stupid. And then, of course, another excuse, well, just play on stick. Just play on hitbox. Well, I don't know. Maybe and hear me out here. Maybe I don't want to spend $300 fucking dollars for another controller that I don't.
All right. Well, the people who are recommending play on hitbox and arcade stick, that whole idea is dumb. First of all, you look at the top players. Nokami, one of the best Fighter Z players, he plays on pad. Sonic Fox, these guys play on pad. You don't hear them crying about destroying their fucking controller, so that's a whack-ass excuse. Man, yes, to some extent, I do believe in some gatekeeping. Like, the FGC isn't, we're not filled with fucking butterflies and fucking shit like that, but I do think casuals are a little bit too soft. You gotta put in that time, just like with any hobby. Well, any hobby that takes a little bit of skill. I think that it's key to have this this gradual growth and learning curve, so that way that you're when you finally land these hard executional barriers, they're rewarding. I think that's super key. I know I've been shitting. Hopefully, I haven't been shitting on this guy, but I've been shitting on his views. I think he's looking at it from a very, very, very wrong way. But I mean, that's how it goes. I'm fine with opening up stuff for casuals to get in easier. I believe in auto combos. I think auto combos are fine as long as you have an in-depth system past the auto combo system, right? Like Fighter Z does a great job of it. You have auto combos, yes. Are they used in neutral a lot? Sure, but we have way more optimal combos that blow that out of the water, but casuals can experience it at a fun-ass level, you know? I'm fine with that. But when you simplify inputs to a point where it's not even fun, when you don't have that reward at the end of that learning curve, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Peace out, y'all. Hopefully, y'all feel me on this one.